stop, bro.
Welcome back to another episode of the All Stop Bro podcast.
Legend. Before we get into it, lads, just a big thank you to Magic Door Studios.
As always.
Yeah, 100%. Like, they're all this lovely stuff that you see here, the podcast, the production. The lads are backing us. They really believe in what we're trying to do, supporting, getting a good message out
But
there.
we had to rob the stuff first, and then they set it up for you.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
But Jamesy, Shane, and everyone at Magic Door, yeah, look, it is appreciated, guys. Back to you now, mate.
Thank you very much. So next guest we have on, the mindful rambler, Kickboxing Yogi. This fella, he can take it on a journey with his words, and we're just grateful to have him. So, Seamus, very, very welcome to the All Stop Bro podcast.
I'm honoured to be here, lads.
Who nearly lost his life about 10 minutes ago.
Come in and took the wall down. Come in and took the hole. You come in and wrecked the bleeding studio straight away. Started off. So Seamus, it's great to have you. First and foremost, thanks for coming in. Thanks for giving us your time, which is more valuable than anything else. So let's get straight into it. So who's Seamus? Where's Seamus from? You tell us a bit about yourself, brother.
Well, yeah. Well, first and foremost, thanks a million for inviting me on.
Yeah, 100%.
I was just saying to both you there before, I was listening to an episode with Kieran, the artist, a couple of episodes ago on the way here, and Mick's rap song, and well, it was a collaboration.
Yeah,
it gave me goosebumps. It really did. And when I listened and then re-listened to the lyricism within it, combined with Kieran's melody and rhythm, I was like, that's a banger. So I really, really hope that you guys put that studio time in and get a really banging version, because the message in it was powerful.
Yeah.
And I was thinking whatever I can share today could be found in them lyrics if you break them down, you know. I think that's the power of hip hop, you know.
Absolutely.
My background, I suppose, I've always leaned into hip hop since I'm young. Hip, intelligent, hop movement, intelligent movement. And I would have looked to kind of conscious hip hop artists throughout different periods and conscious folk singers for a sense of who I was at different periods in my life. And even when I was like going astray, which I'm sure we'll touch into because it's a podcast that is about recovery, right?
Yeah.
But even during those periods when I was kind of maybe off the beam, as they say, I found a moral compass through good artists, through good singers, through good just gurus. Like a guru in yoga is someone who gets rid of darkness and brings light, but it can come in different ways, you know. A good sports coach, a painting instructor, a guitar instructor, a parent, you know, that kind of way. So today I'm the mindful rambler.
Yeah.
I can.
Nice to meet you.
That was gifted to me by a group years ago when I was doing during my tour guide days.
Yeah.
Right. And because we'd be physically rambling around the place, and I'd like to go on these rambles about where we were.
Yeah.
But I always tried to ground it in be here. Do you know what I mean? Like wherever we were, like be here and see it, you know? But just like kind of that journey, my life is like a story, you know? Depending on which chapter you flick on, we could kind of talk for an hour on that chapter, you know?
Yeah. So let's start chapter one. Chapter one. A young Seamus. So where did you grow up?
I grew up, my dad's still there in Balgaddy, out in Clondalkin.
Right.
And then Liam Lawler changed the address to Lucan when they were doing all the rezoning. But it's kind of, it's
very
out
fancy
there.
now.
My dad's still out there.
Right.
So I would have grown up there. 3 siblings. There's 4 of us, two boys, 2 girls. And then my dad was a dub and my mum was a culchie. Came up from County Clare, you know. Came up 17.
Come up to put manners on him. Yeah.
It was funny though. There was a good kind of balance. Now I lost my mammy when I was quite young. You know, I was 10 when she passed away, and the loss of that mother figure would play a lot into my story. She later on in recovery, she would be my higher power. Her image would be my higher power. Yeah. And then maybe when I was kind of going through certain chapters where I was escaping maybe into parties and kind of certain lifestyle of kind of, you know, multiple women and drink and all that stuff, there's probably something there that wasn't addressed. In fact, there was something there. I later on discovered it, you know. But she was Irish. She was an amazing woman, Clare woman from west of Clare, you know. She's lovely lovely nature to her. She was very loving, you know, and I still feel her presence to this day. She would have been 70 last year if she was still around. She died nearly 30 years ago, you know.
Died
So
young
long.
then.
She died very young, 43.
If you don't know, how did she pass away?
Cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My old man passed the cancer as well.
Sorry to hear.
It's horrible. I never liked her anyway.
Mick has away with words. I did one thing.
But yeah, like that as well. She was my best friend as well. Do you know what I mean? So it's hard at any age or whatever. But at 10 years of age,
it's very challenging.
And where are you in the sibling range? Where do you sit?
I'd be Saoirse, myself, Cormac, and Roshan. So I'd be the eldest boy.
Your eldest boy. So did you have a sense of like trying to, well, at 10 years of age you don't really, but you probably would you? Like,
it's very confusing. Like, so that, like, I'll say during those years, because you can kind of like, with memories you can choose to hone in on it from any angle, right? But if I'm trying to be real honest, like, I had a very loving house. Like, my dad did a great job in when the door closed at night, he made us feel safe and loved. Now on the other side of the door was a great neighbourhood in loads of ways. It really was, like, and you'll never hear me speak ill of my neighbourhood, but anyone that's familiar with it will know that there was a lot of kind of challenges that were going on outside, you know, like, that we're all aware of. Any kind of working class area in Dublin at that period, very, very kind of similar. You could drop you into Darndale, Ballymun, or any part, and it's very similar, do you know what I mean? So there's a lot of that stuff going on. I was very fortunate because I was decent at hurling and I was decent at GA, and my dad was a big kind of...
That was the Clare, didn't you?
That was the... Yeah, but funny enough, it was all football in West Clare.
Yeah,
I didn't know. But my dad was a martial artist, so since we were like 6, 7, he had us doing a bit of karate.
Right.
And then he always like told us, like, you can be anything, you know. You're the son. Like he'd be pumping all this stuff in, and now it kind of makes sense. So when I went outside, I'd puff my chest out and, you know, I'd stand up for myself. And then I always had in my head, I had the backing, which was kind of very important as well, you know. So sport during them years became very important. I hurled a lot. I did a lot of kickboxing. Played a lot of GA. I was lucky enough to get on the Dublin team, you know, up to Dublin Minors and all.
That's another one we've had too now,
John
Dignam as well. He was the same,
Class.
And did you find, can I ask as well, while you were playing this, so were you obviously teens, 15, 16, kind of in
all the way from probably like 8 up until just after minor. Under 21 would have been the last kind of time I played GA.
And would you have drank early while you were playing the hurling and the GA and everything else?
Yeah, so kind of the drinking and stuff for me is definitely part of my story, because part of every Irish story. Like, I grew up around folk music, you know. Like, I have great pictures in Barney McKenna's house in Holt as a young fella. My dad folk singing and stuff, and that kind of, like, when I was young, I looked up, and what it was to be a man was to be able to have a pint. And then, like, my first job was in a pub in Lucan Village, and I was 15, 16, you know, that kind of age, 16 or whatever. And then afterwards, like, you'd be having the odd cans. Now, because we were decent level sports, they'd say, right, drinking bans. This is like 16-year-olds. and then when you would drink, it'd be massive binge drinking. You know? There's no kind of real knowledge around drinking and stuff. And during that period, like, I got on well in school. In the same time, some of my neighbours were getting caught up in a load of madness. I was kind of, through sport and through other peer groups, I was able to kind of, you know, avoid certain pitfalls, thankfully. But it would have been a lot of binge drinking, and it would have been a lot of this kind of like, it would have been tied into your masculinity. Like, to be called a lightweight would be worse than...
At that age, you take it to heart,
man. So you'd just be like, right, I can drink loads, you know. And then when I'd end up going abroad later, when I finished school, I ended up going and doing a carpentry apprenticeship for a few years on the sites and all. And again, you'd get your money, you'd blow it all nearly on a Friday, Saturday. You're an apprentice wage, you weren't earning loads, but you wanted to feel like, I've made it now. I've my Snickers trousers on and I can buy around. And the last thing you want to be is mean, so you want to get everyone in the rounds. Sure, Monday you don't have your bus fare, you're scrounging for your bus fare off your dad. You got bus fare.
Where's your masculinity there?
So I ended up, we all lost our jobs 2008.
Yes.
And I filled out the CEO, ended up going back to college, and I loved it there. I was very intimidated at first going back to college because teachers had said I was bright, but I don't know if I fully believed it, you know. There was a part of me that had doubts, and that ties into the sport. Like, I was on the Dublin minor team, but when I got onto that county level, there was always something in me that I didn't perform to the level I should have due to anxiety.
Yeah.
And no one actually coaching me around nervous systems and thought process and emotions to the extent that I was really decent, but big occasions I'd seem to freeze a little bit, you know, and they'd run past me. They'd be over before I got going, you know.
And that wasn't due to your ability. That was just due to the mental side of it.
Majorly.
If you had to kind of overcome that. And I heard you talking to the lads last time, and you touched on something, and I was like, I must say to you.
Yeah.
So there's a guy, I'm going to botch his name, was it Kieran, or was it something, Kieran Calder?
Colin Calder.
Yeah. And you were saying he taught you what did he teach you? Because I remember hearing it, and I was like, I want to hear more about that guy.
About Colin.
So he basically taught you that you can gain knowledge, like, or that you're fully acceptant, as you're as good as anybody else, you know. And I think that's a lot. Even for myself, it was a lot. Kind of all my brothers and sisters, they all kind of went to college. And I just always had this thing in my head where, like, people will tell me I'm really bright, and I might come across even with how I write and stuff like that, and I probably am. But I'm 36, and I still don't believe it. I still don't think. I think that's what's hampered my music in terms of that. So it was when you kind of mentioned that, I was like, I must ask, was that a pinnacle time or a pivotal time where it was a turning point where you went, do you know what? A penny drop where you're like, I can fucking do this. I can actually go ahead and do something here.
Yeah, but that penny drop moment, like recovery, is one day at a time. Because then something else will come along, and you might drift into that kind of self-doubt and limiting beliefs and whatnot. Funny enough, I hadn't been to Ballybrig in years, right? And I was only here last weekend. And what I was doing is working with the Irish national kickboxing team. So all the Irish champions from all the different kickboxing disciplines, from full contact to K1 to light contact to all the champions, they're getting ready for World Games. And I was invited to their training camp. So I did a load of breath work with them. And I did a load of kind of mindset coaching around kind of performance anxiety, being present, and kind of looking at different techniques to be in the moment, you know? Stuff that I wish I had when I was that age. Yeah. But in answer to your question, to go back to Colin, he was definitely very influential at that period. But I can think back to Imelda Higgins. She was a secondary school teacher when I was in Lucan. I went to school there. She was amazing. My dad was like an organic intellectual. He went to college a lot later on in life, and he kind of graduated the School of Hard Knocks as well. But he was really, really well read. Like, his bookshelf was extensive, you know, and he was always kind of telling me certain things, but it's like I wasn't ready to fully believe them because it was my dad. Like, you tell me you love me all the time, like, you know. Yeah. So when I ended up going through the big gates out in Maynooth, I again puffed out my chest and I'm ready to be here. But there was internal doubts. Colin and then other lecturers was able to kind of sit down, and his class, it was a sociology lecture. He'd come from a working class neighbourhood in Belfast, and he effectively basically said, like, all knowledge to an extent is subjective. You've got objective truth like mathematics and stuff, but like how we're going to interpret the past and how we're going to construct arguments around politics and development, like, you need to inform yourself of both sides and then come at it. And then if you do that well enough, no one can deny it. Because I was quite antagonistic during college, like, in the sense that, like, once I kind of realised this, I was that student that some lecturers really loved because I was going to give it all. But others were like, oh, he's going to challenge me, you know? Now, this whole period, I was doing a bit of hip-hop, I was doing a bit of poetry, I was partying every single night. But I had this, like, I was doing this for my whole community. So I studied. I ended up getting, like, a 1-1 in my degree. I ended up getting, like doing really well academically. Now, I was out of my mind most of the time, but I'd go into the library doing all-nighter, like, researching and writing. And when you want to justify certain stances, I felt like I'm going to be so... everything's going to be sourced so well that even if they disagree with this article, my essay, they have to give me the mark for it, you know?
It sounds like you enjoyed citing and referencing.
That side of it was a little bit, I needed a bit of help for that.
Saying that to me there, I was like, oh, I fucking hate that. It's one of the hardest things you do, because aren't you saying colleges, you've no say in that. Do you know what I mean? It's, you can only reference what someone else has said who studied it rather than your own theory on what it might be.
Yeah, like, and that's kind of how I fell out of love a bit. Like, I ended up I became president of the student union for a year after my degree.
Right.
I was just like, you know, equity of access. Everyone should have the right to education. Knowledge is power. Like, free yourself. If we want, like, people in working class neighborhoods or any neighborhood to really be emancipated from limiting beliefs, they need to, like, access knowledge. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Knowledge is the secret to it. I'm not saying that it's necessarily even book smarts. I think that's one part of it, you know? So after a little while, I was like, I'm going to go out into the world, because I felt it was a little bit sanitized academia at the time. 4 points that you say. I had my thesis there just randomly. No, because I ended up doing it with a group out in Ballymun called Working Class Records, the postgrad one. And there was a guy, Dean Scurry, and he was out there. He was encouraging a lot of young lads to write. And then there was these amazing artists. And then Mick, obviously, is an artist from there as well. But Costello, GI, Lunatic. There was Lunatic. Lunatic had passed on when I was doing it, but they were all still holding the L's up for him.
Little Dialect.
Little Dialect was in the thesis.
Yeah.
I interviewed him. There was Will Ali. There was Ryan, Linko, and Jer Kelly. There's a few lads.
Yeah, the lads, yeah.
But what was so impressive about that, why I loved it and why I loved your rhyme and what you're doing, is like, you don't necessarily need the institution to acquire knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
But it can be a space to encourage intellectual inquiry. And that's why I feel like you don't have to go to college. Go there if you want, but it should be accessible to everybody. And when you're in there, then, like, it should be kind of like, I don't like the way the culture's gone in the last little while, where certain subject matter should be left off the table. I don't want to push too heavy my opinion on any one thing, but I do feel like we should be able to discuss,
have all opinions
everything,
on the table,
right?
yeah.
In a respectful way, and then kind of like forge opinions. Certain things are like, that's respectable conversation, that's not. That's respectful, that's not. And when you kind of go down that, it can be a dangerous path. You know what I mean?
It can be a slippery fucking slope, indeed. Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
That thing you said about college there, and it's a big thing, is because in Ireland and the way society works, it's told, like, you go to sit your leaving cert, then you go to college, and then you buy your first gaff by 28. But like, in the current times,
not anymore.
That's, you know, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. But by fucking 28, you move back in with your man and dad, and then
for the second time,
see what it is. You know what I mean?
But them stigmas, like, even with a lot of people that I work with in my job, it's like, you know, I want to get a job, I need to go to college to get a job I want. But like, there's a lot of things with lived experience and having life experience and transferable skills you can bring from living your life into it. But that is a major issue, and I really agree with you on that there, that it's just, it should be accessible to people who want it. Do you know what I mean? Rather than having a stigma about it as well.
Oh yeah, you'd be surprised who you could get some, like, I know some fucking winners from like council estate areas, like like just absolute champions. You know what I mean? Fucking brains to bone, but just would rather just didn't get the chance. Do you know what I mean? Just didn't, or the belief within themselves. So after you finished college, you were saying you move away, did you?
Yeah, well, straight away, like, and that's why I like doing these conversations, because I want to fly the flag for those neighbourhoods, and because 100%. That is, you know,
up the area.
It's just a part.
Up the area.
There's actually a boxer from where I'm living now. I'm living on the north side of Dublin. Jack Caffrey. I'll give him a shout out.
Yeah.
And he has a T-shirt called "Up the Area."
Up the area.
Yeah. He's a great young fella, and I just see he's kind of like selling his T-shirts. If you want to support him,
100%.
check him out. And,
100%.
And he's doing his boxing, like, he's like a semi-pro boxer, and he's just a lovely energy, and he's trying. He's doing something positive. Chasing his dream. So I have the Up the Area T-shirt there.
Up the area, fucking yes.
He'd be like, why didn't you wear it?
No, I'm rocking my own merch.
He's rocking his own.
My brother-in-law Colin designed that logo.
And what is it? What does it represent? Is waves as in energy? Or is it just?
Yeah, it can be from chaos to calm.
Chaos to calm. Your breath.
It can be the breath. It can be all that. You know.
Yeah.
When I kind of we're all a bit of ramblers. You could all be called ramblers.
Yeah.
When I got out of the kind of university setting, I was kind of like moving into the next chapter, and I developed certain book smarts, if you will.
Yeah.
And I started to learn, okay, like, I can communicate with people from any walk of life. I think one of the big things I found in college was that maybe my friends that were from very affluent backgrounds, they would have been somewhat, they mightn't have admitted it, but intimidated by certain kind of people from certain areas. But on the flip side of that, my buddies from home and they probably wouldn't admit it, may have been intimidated by people who had certain language and certain backgrounds as well. There was an intimidation of the unknown.
Yeah.
And then they can both parties then can lean into one aspect of themselves a little bit heavily, you know? And I found like it was really good and liberating in my own journey to be kind of like, hang on a minute. We're all just humans and we're all just big bags of nerves and we're all just trying to figure stuff out. And the yoga, the martial arts would kind of continue during all this process. When I was in the college, I ran a kickboxing gym. Club in Maynooth kickboxing at the time. I ran that for a few years. Now, I was fit as hell physically, and I was running classes, but I was on a mad one, like, do you know what I mean? At the same time, and so the academic thing was going all right. My energy was through the roof, so I could do them all. Yeah. Now, eventually, that burning the candle at both ends would catch up. Do you know what I mean?
As it does.
Yeah. Came out of college, was like, this hip hop stuff it's it. Do you know? My whole thing was like legitimizing social conscious hip hop as academic inquiry and then bringing it into schooling. There's a guy from England called A.k.a. They call him the Black Shakespeare.
And now he's
legend. Legend. And he ran the Shakespeare company. And he was working with kind of like working class youths in England, and he was using Shakespearean texts as a starting point for kind of empowering them through knowledge. His whole thing is knowledge is power and whatnot. And then when I seen what Dean and the lads were doing there, and then how empowering it is for the writer to first you have to study, because knowledge is the fifth element. You have to understand what you're writing about, and then you fixate it. But you're positioning yourself in the world. But then when you share it, you're helping the listener so much. Like real good friend of mine now, I'm honoured, he's my friend Damien Dempsey. His music saved my life throughout different periods. And it was him that put me wide to the hip hop lads. Like, it was him that said, go out and check them out, Seamus.
I think he'd be friends. I know, as we spoke with Kieran as well, Them was my Sparky, Ray Corcoran, so he'd be close. And then Dino Scuddy, I've done one or two bits with Dino Scuddy. I remember, and I was only a young fella, and I thought, I have this. And I went up to Dino, I was like, yeah, show it for me. And I did a few bits, and he was like, no. He was like, drop that, don't do that. And my ego, I was like, oh, I'm not going back there. But it wasn't a case of like, fuck him. He told me, I was like, oh, I'm not good enough now. Because them lads were close to where they were, but I was like, oh, no, I'm not. Them lads are fucking on it. The fifth element type buzz. But like that with music and everything else, it would never left me. It always there, and I always kind of built and wrote more. And yeah, I find like that as well. I try and write from a perspective of you up the area, do you know what I mean? From the area with a broader fucking mind frame than that's not stuck in that council estate of mind.
100%.
You know?
Well, when I heard you rap the other day, you're as good as, and I mean this in the bottom of my heart, you're as good a lyricist and performer as anyone I've ever heard. And I've listened a lot, I've read a lot. And
did you hear that demo?
You are. Yeah, no, you are. You're like now I'll have to listen to more of your stuff as well. I'm hoping I didn't walk into a trap. On that one, you come back. You know what? You changed me mind. That last verse I heard was top.
Appreciate it. And I've more for you, and we'll do it. We'll do it more as well. And also we were saying as well about doing some breath work or trying to do like for you. So basically as well, I think you liked the video earlier on. So where I'm at the moment, I've been off the gargle, and I've had a few every now and again, fucking a lot less than what I was on. And we were doing the podcast, and everything is going well. I keep saying everything is going well. I have to be in the present moment. Everything is going well, but I had this kind of feeling within me. I was just like, I just don't feel like either I'm being challenged or I'm doing enough for myself in terms of where I kind of want to be at. So I decided to do August. And that was it's just for myself. So basically what it is, I struggle with posting every day. I struggle with the social media side of things. I struggle with making a video and being like, that shit. And then making another video, I'm like, oh no, I don't like that part. Instead of just making the video, I'm just fucking putting it out and letting it go off into the ether, because I could spend 2 hours and get nothing from it. I could put one video out and I could get fucking 1,000 likes or whatever, which has never happened. But but for that, so what I kind of said to myself, right, I says, right, I want to try and challenge myself. So running every day, and I ran every day for the year last year. So I know that's not challenging. So what I want to do, and we spoke about it before, so I want to run every day. I want to make a gratitude journal every day. And now I was looking for that third thing to come in. And as fate may have it, as the universe, what's meant for you won't pass you. We have the discussion today. So what I'm going to try and take is if you can teach us a quick 5-minute kind of breath work and talk to us a bit about meditation, that I can implement that into every day now. So I'll do this whatever we teach, I'll do this when I go home at night, and I'll do that, and I'll do it every single day for 31 days. And I'll come back to you then after the 31 day and be like, change my life, or do you know? But the thing is to find something and stick to it, and do it consistently, and see how we're getting on. Because meditation for me is something like I listened to a lot of Alan Watts, and like, you know, I've done a lot of Wim Hof. I've done breath work. A friend of mine, he's locked up now, Lee Riley, Free Lee. He's done a lot of breath work. He's all he uses breath work. So he's all my cunts. But he done a lot of breath work as well. And I went to one or two of his classes, and he's a mad cunt. But then you go to his class, and like that as well, you just, once the doors close, you feel so protected. Like you lie down, you get into the breath, and he'll just guide you through it. So I've always had a thing, but the last time I meditated, I got a mad fucking negative experience off it. I just, whatever was in me, it sat with me, and I stopped straight away, and I came away from it. And that was like 6 months ago. And I haven't done that since. So even when I was thinking about the meditating, adding it in, I was like, oh no, I'm not fucking doing that, because whatever was in it. But because you're here today, I said, you know what, let's reset, let's learn and try and do it again. So so what we'll do is we'll do a bit of breath work, and for the listeners as well then, if they want it as a guided yoke, and see if it'll help them as well. As you can see, I'm a fucking rambler. So.
Yeah, he is. But no, he's 1,000,000% right. There was two things that popped up to me just quickly on it, because meditating is something I preach to a lot of people. A lot of people reach out to me recovery wise for help. You know what I'm saying, right? See, sometimes it'll be really simple. Try and get up and go for a walk in the morning. Just commit to this for a week. Get up and go for a walk in the morning, meditate for 10 minutes. I can't do that. And everyone has this block about it. I remember when I was in treatment, we do a morning meditation. 5 minutes, you come in, they play the gong. But everyone would sit down, but I put this mental block. I can't do this. And all the guys would be meditating, but I just didn't buy into it. I remember one of the lads who was in there with me put me aside and goes, what's the story with you? And I was like, what? And he goes, why aren't you doing the fucking meditating? And I was like, I just can't. And he goes, just fucking do it. So at the end of the day, somebody else kind of caught me on me bullshit, and I was like, right, gonna fucking do it. I started doing it. Holy shit, it does work. But I'm guilty of this as well. I know, and this is for people in recovery and trying to have a better life, I know it helps me, but I make excuses. That thing, like I have an app, I'll get all into it. Insight Timer is great for the app for people if they want to use for guided meditations. And I'm going to do 30 days. Day 2, fuck it. And then once, because I missed that day, then I'm like, fuck it, no. Do you know, you use a stick to beat yourself.
So I think this is what this August thing is for me. It's accountability. It's to do it every day, or for the 31 days.
So you're going to send us a video of you meditating every day?
Yeah.
That could be good.
Yeah. Okay. Gone.
Paro meditating.
But I will. I'll video it and see where we get from it.
It's funny, like I'm working with a group in Kilmore West at the minute. Lovely bunch of teenagers, you know, and they're at that vulnerable age, you know, 17, and I'm doing a bit of kickboxing with them for an hour, and then we're doing a bit of yoga and a bit of breath work at the end. And they said the same stuff, like, oh, we can't meditate, you know. And I used to say the same thing, but somebody really, like, I wish I was told this at the start, so maybe it'll help you now. But there's 2 parts to meditation. One is the experience that you have. So you said you had a negative experience. Sometimes it's a lovely experience. But what you should focus on is the essence of the meditation. And the essence is different to the experience, because the essence is the awareness itself. So by simply lying and sitting with yourself, all right, at first you might find that the head is quite fast. You know, in recovery, early recovery, it's like a washing machine head or whatever. But like just sitting and witnessing that is the essence of a meditation. The experience you're having, positive or negative, is the experience. So then what you got to learn is, how do you sit with feelings? How do you sit with thoughts? How do you train that? Like when I came out of college back then, I ended up using the hip hop in youth centers, and I was very, very good at young people to, you know, share their stories and whatnot through the written word. But what I wasn't prepared for was when a kid tells you that they've suffered horrendous abuse, horrendous. And you're kind of like, okay, now I think I gave as good of advice as I could, and then pass it on to a key worker, all the rest of it. But then I'm lying home at night.
But you brought that home with you.
Oh man, right? And then again, combining all that then with maybe the binge drinking and the lifestyle and whatnot. And after a year, I was burnt out. My intentions were really good. Like during that period, I'd had a nickname Smiler. Like I think I've always had a kind enough disposition. Yeah. My meanness would only have been internally to my own head, I think, you know. So I was burnt out at home, and I was thinking, what am I going to do? So I Googled fun jobs abroad. And that's how I ended up doing the tour guiding for a couple of years.
Right, yeah.
And after a year, the tour guiding, I was getting accolades. Like they give you, at the end of a tour, you get graded or whatever reviews. Yeah. So I was right up there, do you know what I mean? But I completely bought into the folk singing Seamus from Dublin who can drink more than anyone. I'm going to be the last man awake on the bus and the first man up in the morning. And no matter how hungover we are, let's go.
Typical the paddy.
And I leaned into that stereotype heavy now. The people loved it. And then the more they loved it, it was like fulfilling something in me.
And was that for group tours, was it?
That was all on the groups, on the coaches.
So did you do it, was it a case of like fucking, like, so you do that 50, but you do that with a group. But that group goes off, that group fucks off home. Yeah. So do you...
I'd have 50 people. The biggest tours were 7 weeks. Yeah. Shortest tours were 4 weeks.
7 weeks.
And you'd have every 2 nights a new city. Yeah. So in 7 weeks, you might be going to 50, 60 cities. Right. And you're on it every night. And then as the guide, wherever you bring your group, you're getting free drink, because I've got 42 20-year-old women.
Fucking any publican will say, right. Take the skin off your hand.
Now, you'd still end up spending all your wages.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
After a year of that, I was quite literally now... I burnt out. I collapsed. Like I literally collapsed because they were going home to mammy after 7 weeks. So I was getting my new group.
So you were getting a new group. That's what I'm saying. So, and then fucking boom, starting again from Jesus Christ.
My sister was and I don't know, like phenomenal that I got as long through it as I did. Well over a year. And then my sister was having a kid, Rourke, and he's 11 in February. So when she was about to have the kid, I ended up kind of going, right, I need a detox. So I ended up throwing myself in an ashram. Right. And kind of started learning meditations and just detoxing. And then I started thinking about, all right, my nephew's going to be around and I want to be alive. And I want to be a positive role model. So I did another year doing the tours sober. Right. Completely sober.
Wow, it's extreme though.
Very extreme now. And I went from being the kind of crazy party animal uncle of the tour probably to being the responsible dad, because my grades were still very high and I still related to people, except it was different. I was actually able to actively listen instead of kind of maybe G'ing people up and constantly you're offering something that people liked, but there was another way, and I was like, oh wait, I can live this way as well, you know.
So is that in regards that the yin and the yang? Is that the up and then the second year was your yang, the could have been now,
and following on from that, there was other, like my story saw me kind of moving to Argentina for another job and thinking, well, I've been sober 2 years, I can have a glass of wine, you know. And I ended up like a month later, I was like, my kidneys hurt. What am I doing? The sides are so. My eyes are yellow. What's happening? And again, you're getting applauded and work. So like I was very high functioning in my addiction, you know. But I think the question was around the meditation stuff, and I'd be delighted to kind of do meditation with you. But why I kind of drifted back into the story was like, that was my first exposure to real kind of meditation. I'd done yoga class as a 15-year-old, and I'd lied in Shavasana. That's the corpse pose at the end of meditation. Right. And my head had been spinning, and I became aware of thoughts. And I was like kind of lying there, like looking at my thoughts. You know, I was like, oh, that's interesting. But to truly try to... there's a really good book called The Untethered Soul, and in it he talks about the seat of consciousness. So it's when like you sit back in the awareness and you recognize that you're not your thoughts, you're the one who thinks. Okay. Right?
Yeah, hang on there for a second. Let that sink in.
You're not your thoughts,
the one who thinks.
You just believe it when it pops up.
Well, a thought, like you can think of anything. Like I can say right now a pink elephant, and you can conjure a pink elephant in your mind. Yeah. The thought in your head is kind of like the movie on the TV, for want of a better metaphor. Like you look at the movie now, if that's a really good movie, like say we put on a horror movie now, right, and it's really scary, and you'll have like physical responses to it, like you'll twitch and you'll hold your breath and that's like 2-dimensional. That's just vision and sound. But in your head, if you don't stop, take a breath and reclaim your seat of consciousness, your thought it's like 5-dimensional, 4-dimensional. Well, it's completely happening. So your body and stress levels are rising because the thought, just like the movie, you're reacting to it. But when you take a breath, like going back to the movie, say like we're jumping to the horror movie, a light comes on and we're like, oh yeah, we're watching a movie. It loses its power over you, even if it's still playing.
Yeah.
Because you're like, it's not real.
Yeah.
You know, that's Anthony Hopkins bouncing around eating people, but it's not real. It's a movie. It's the same with your thoughts. Even if a thought is incessant, the simple act of breathing and going, oh yeah, you can't maybe control the thought, but you can control your relationship with the thought. And you can't maybe control the thought, but you can influence the second thought. And that will only come through awareness. Our body will respond to thoughts. Like you can think about it, if I jumped up and gave you a fright or I did something mental, you would like take a breath in and you'd hold your breath and you go, that would be your response, right? Now think about when you're chilled out at the end of the night, like this podcast goes brilliant. You're going home and you're like, that was amazing. And it's a long exhalation and your nervous system's down, right? The link between the physical and the kind of mental, right? The formless and the form is the breath. So this is why the breath is so important, because if you just focus on your breath, the simple act of focusing on it, everyone's like to me, give me a breathing technique there, you know, because I always say get high in your own supply. You mentioned Wim Hof. I love Wim Hof. When I give up drink and like party drugs, like I was around music scene and I loved parties and all that, I was like, oh no, I've given up alcohol and drugs. How am I ever going to be? I'm giving up everything.
Yeah.
And then, and then you learn the difference between peace and boredom. And then also you're like, wait a minute, I'm giving that lifestyle up, but I'm gaining so much. Like, you know, so when when we're talking about meditation, simplify it. Like I could get real complicated and nuanced and all that. And don't get me wrong, I do enjoy going into those conversations. But what if you just simplified it to this? People at home, people listening, people might be driving, whatever they're doing, right? If you just consciously take a breath, breathe in deep, beyond your chest into your belly, and then breathe out for a little bit longer than you breathe it in, and become aware of how that feels in your body. Try to like scan your body, relax your face, relax your shoulders a bit, right? And then just do a couple of nice deep breaths consciously. Your breath is the anchor to the present. Like, the breath we took when I arrived, when I knocked over your set, that's gone, right? And the breath I'm going to take tonight before bed's not here yet. So if I focus on the breath I'm taking now, well, then I'm in the now.
Yeah.
And all our anxiety and all our worries aren't here yet. Like we're fixating, we're on a thought loop about what might happen or what happened, you know, what was or what will be. And if you just simply come into the present, you're alleviating like so much of the stuff that's taking your peace of mind. Like, I'm in a very comfortable, it's a really nice setup you have here. I'm sitting on a nice
James is going to be like, say that again.
Yeah, but he is. Like, it's a lovely studio. You guys are in your heart center. Like, why would I be worried? Like, but when I came in, I was a bit tense. And I was probably a bit tense because I was like, I hope I don't make a mistake, or I hope I don't. I hope I get to,
you know, bring the wall down or anything.
Yeah, exactly. But
what's the worst that could happen?
But whatever happens. And I was with them elite kickboxers last week. And what are you saying to them? These are world champions. World champions. And we're kind of saying, well, you have reactions and you have responses. And like, say something stimulates you, something happens. The space between the stimulant and the reaction, like if you can control your breath and you can go into that awareness, you become more like, of course you're gonna have reaction speed if you're a martial artist or whatever, but like you choose the response rather than the reaction. You know, when life throws something at you.
I got that. The only reason I'm jumping in is just when you said about anxiety, and it makes such complete sense. It's something, because one of the worst things I got from being sober, and I may have always had it before I said, is anxiety. And it's because I had nothing to mask the feelings. Right. Because I used that, what I done in mine is, and I really related to what you were saying earlier on, I played a character everywhere I went, because it helped me feel, I didn't value myself. But the anxiety thing, and I still get it with it now. Some weeks it's good, some weeks it's bad. But it's that, and I'm trying to work on it, because I've been doing a bit of a deep dive into myself. It's trying to, and for anyone out there who is suffering with anxiety, because a lot of people do, we live in a pressurized society now, you know, social media and all that, but I can feel it. But that breath, I can and I'm becoming more aware of it now. So I can feel anxiety, I feel threat. I don't know what it is. There's nothing specific, but I don't feel comfortable, so I feel threatened, and I can feel me. You kind of and it's all happening unaware to you because you're not aware, and I can feel the tension, and then my breathing will slow down. I'm going to be hit. I'll tense up, and then it starts to. But then I kind of have to go, let go of it. But when you're not, if you're not aware of these things, or practicing little things like you were saying, just breathe. It's huge.
Awareness is essential to everything. Essential to everything. You know, like I was out walking. I do this. I have a brilliant group out in Ballyfermot Star. They're doing great work in the community.
Yeah.
So I'm out there like 4 years. Every Friday, I have a men's group and a women's group, and we do a lot of yoga, a lot of breath work, and stuff. But the odd time when it's real sunny out, we'll say we go for a mindful walk,
a ramble.
And when we go out on the walk, do you know what we do? I say to them, right, try and see 5 things you haven't already seen. Try and smell a few things you haven't smelt outside. Try and hear a sound that you haven't heard. Try and touch something, you know, and if we're going to drink water or have a coffee, taste it. But reality is real. It's about getting back into your senses. So sometimes if you're lost in a thought loop, first thing you do is you breathe, right? Because you can feel it. That is our link between form and formless. But then it's getting into your senses. Like any meditation involves just kind of getting in, all right, how do I feel? Scanning your body. What do I smell in here? You know, what can I hear? Acknowledge sounds. You know, when I started teaching meditation in the beginning, it'd be Murphy's Law. You'd get everyone lying down, and then all of a sudden someone bleeding start honking their horn out the window. And then you'd be kind of like, oh God, I've just. Well, like, why does it matter? Just acknowledge it. Just say, okay, hear the sound outside you. Now, where are you shifting that awareness again? From the sound outside to the sound in the room, from the sound in the room back into your body, and now you're scanning your body. Because do you know what's really powerful stuff, right? Wim Hof, we talked about earlier. He took a controlled group with the University of Utrecht.
Ah, fuck.
Right?
Madness.
24 of them. Trained like 12 of them. Now, I could be getting the numbers slightly off, but trained 12 of them for a weekend on awareness, breathing techniques, and meditation and whatnot. And at the end of it, they injected them all with coli. And the controlled group that he was able to teach were able to prevent this flu going around their body. Right. And the others
are normal people.
Yeah,
normal people. Yeah.
The power of awareness is power. It's just powerful. When you're lying in a meditation, like even now, like someone did to me before, like if you just like look at now, if you're driving, don't look at your hanky for the road. But if they just like
it's Saturday, go on.
And when I was on the Talk of Bollocks podcast, we did a bit of reading, and the amount of people that wrote in saying, I was driving listening to it, and nearly wrote the car off.
You're too aware.
We're not responsible for stupidity, right?
But someone said, like, if you just look at your hand, like if you just literally stare at your hand, right, and you put all your awareness, then maybe zone into like one fingertip or your fingertips. If you just like really focus in on it for a moment and then breathe, and when you breathe deep, follow the breath down into that part of your body, and then you exhale, you'll notice it nearly starts tingling a little bit. And like
there it is.
Right?
Yeah.
And then when you're doing a meditation at the end, all you do is you focus on that point, and then you drift that loving energy, that prana, all around your body, and you witness a heal in your body as you do it. Like prana, we call breath work in yoga because it's around thousands of years. Pranayama. And prana, I have it kind of in Sanskrit in my chest. Prana means breath, but it also means life force.
Right.
And yama means control. So control breath, control life force, right? But there's all varying different types, like, to do it. But you can get prana from sunlight. You can get prana from food. You can get prana from breath. If you're like, if you don't need to tell people nowadays, like when we were younger, there wasn't really a lot of nutritionists, even at high level sport. You know what I mean? Whereas now, like you look at boxers, look at kickboxers, you look at GA players even, and their diet is on point. Or just your average gym goer now, maybe aesthetic.
You see these 15, 16-year-old young fellas going to the gym at 7 o'clock before that, even going to fucking do their junior.
Yeah.
Well, even the GA lads, he said.
The GA, but it's everywhere. Nutrition is really high.
But what if you were getting nutrition from your breath? Because you are.
Okay.
You get prana. Prana is that energy you get from sunlight, food, and breath. So we should be teaching this. We should be learning this. We should be practicing this.
Unhooked again, bro.
We should be practicing.
Yeah, because it makes
100%.
so much fucking sense. It's so easy. It's so easy. It's breath, but and how you control it is exactly up to ourselves.
And keep it simple. Everyone wants to make this kind of practice so like, you know, I'm going to use certain language. Use the language when you're with people who are getting technical with you.
You'll understand it.
Yeah, but keep it as simple as this. Like, all right, like, take deep breath, like box breathing. Breathe in for four, hold for four, out for four, hold for four. The double breath, Andrew Huberman goes into that. You know the double breath?
No.
You can try that one. Like it only takes 5, right? Yeah. So you take a big breath in, breathe in again, and then fully out. Relax your shoulders, completely empty the lungs, and then in again, and then fully out. Fully in again, and fully out. And that's it.
It's a nice feeling.
It's lovely.
Yeah, it's a little bit of lightheaded. It's when you say that as well. That used to be one of me. What do you call them? What do you call vocal sims or something? Do you know what that goes on? I'd be going down the road and I'd be just because I listen to a lot of Wim Hat, I'd be like, fully in. Just when you said it.
I've listened to so much of them that when I do my breathwork class, when I do yoga classes, I call me yoga fusion yoga. And I call it that because like I ended up doing a summer. Another part of the story was like my mum was from Clare, so our summer holidays was down to the farm every summer. And we had a lot of love in the house, but we didn't like get a lot of foreign holidays. It wasn't like we weren't flush like.
Yeah.
So my travel, which became very extensive, like came first through tour guiding because it was a travel, and then I got a job as an experiential manager with this company called Remote Year. I was kind of headhunted because I was doing a martial arts yoga, and I was tour guide experience, and they were like before COVID, not many people were working remotely, and they were they were a friend of mine from the tour guiding days, kind of reached out. It was a great job, but every 5 weeks I moved country, and my whole role was making people be safe and present in the place we were in, and then put on networking events. So during that time, I was blasting into ashram here. Like did a yoga teacher training in Rishikesh in India, getting licensed in here. Did like a tantra yoga course in Thailand. Went down this self-love yoga in Peru. I'm not saying this to brag. I'm just saying
absolutely.
These things.
But it's steady to hear this. Someone just living a life.
So I think that's what you're saying about knowledge is accessible to everybody, and it doesn't have to be book knowledge. Like,
but all this knowledge that I was acquiring, right? I was still carrying with me. Like when I think back to the Seamus growing up, I always felt like, before I went to college, like the people there must know something I don't. And then I got in and I realised, wait a minute, I can do this. Yeah. So I started debating. But then I was thinking, you know, the kind of hipsters that have the red trousers and the dreadlocks. I ended up having red trousers. But like they figured something out because they travelled. Yeah. And then I travelled and I was like, oh wait, the person who did that. Oh, and then I did it. And then just, you talk about penny drop moments. Colin Coulter, brilliant lecturer, really helped me. Imelda Higgins, great teacher. My dad, all these kind of like Mick O'Brien from the Druids. He's a great friend of mine now, and he's helped me a lot. All these kind of guys have helped me. But the penny drop moment for me came from, wait a minute, everything I'm searching for was in me. Like I am it, and you're it. It was like having to go to India to realize that there's no kind of like guru gonna hand me some lantern and then I figured it out. It's like, wait a minute, there's an ocean of divinity behind my eyes that exists behind your eyes. Namaste at the end of a yoga means the divine in me sees the divine in you. So when we start seeing the divine in ourselves and in others, and then we can come down into our chest and feel it, we feel whole, then we are enough. And just that 12-inch journey, never mind your 12,000 kilometers to Peru or wherever. Don't get me wrong, traveling's amazing, foods are amazing, cultures are amazing, experiences are amazing. But you don't necessarily have to go to those places to be complete, to be whole, to be okay. Yeah. Addiction and the kind of like sex and the drugs and the alcohol and all the rest of it, that comes primarily, I believe, from like somewhat of a hole in the soul. You're trying to fill something. It might begin with fun and parties, and it eventually becomes problematic, and then just problems, etc. But like, where's that hole? Like, how do we fill that hole? But you know, like that hole can be filled from your own understanding that you are already complete. We're divine creatures. You know?
Yeah.
Now you can forget that and slip off the beam. But it was that eureka, that penny drop moment for me was when I was in the place I thought was giving me the answer. And I was like, wait a minute.
It was always within.
It's here.
Yeah.
Like we are it.
So when you say the 12 as well, does this resemble around the symbolism within religion and everything else? Like I know. So what would your religion be? Would you probably Catholic? Is it?
So
from the start, like you know, kind of growing up on what you were told or what probably box you fitted into. Like, and why I'm saying that is, did you have a belief in God through your life, and then when you go over to these, like, because is a Hinduism that they don't teach. I think, and Alan Watts says as well, he's not a guy with a big beard and everything else looks down on you. That's not a God that looks at. I think Hinduism teaches it is within. God is within, you know. So like after traveling all around, what would your religious how would you see the higher power, so to speak?
I love that question. Like for me, this is what it's all about. Like, and you know, to be really honest, when I went to college first, I defended this position of an atheist.
Right.
Now, I had done the whole baptism stuff, but my dad had gone through Catholic schooling in Ireland at a time when they were
not great.
They were like, to be honest, like there was probably good ones to be found, but it was an institution of savages.
Few and far between.
Savages.
Yeah.
And he ended up working in the social work game, helping a lot of teenagers who'd kind of suffered certain levels of abuse. And when I had kind of came to understand the colonial, like how intertwined with colonialism and imperialism, I did history in my degree, the church maybe was. And then when I saw firsthand the pain that they dished out and the level of it to hurt people, I was like, I have not anything to do with them. But a later grievance came from me associating spiritual inquiry with institutions. Your relationship with a higher power is very, very personal. And actually now, in a weird way, I'm all right with any religion, Christian, etc., wherever you're kind of finding that source of knowledge. But my personal belief is, I don't know, at first when I started going from, like, I'm an atheist and here's why, and I was debating it. And I was like, I had Dawkins and I had me little quotes and facts and everything. And then I was like, do you know what? Someone said, atheism is quite deterministic, because you're saying there's definitely nothing. And they were like, would you not call yourself an agnostic?
An agnostic,
and then, all right, well, like, agnostic just means you don't know. I was like, right, yeah, okay, I know, I'll concede that. And then when I started getting like a little bit more into this kind of breath work, and I started getting more into recovery, I did the kind of 12 steps, and on the first one is like when you're reading the book, it's a God of your own understanding and stuff. And then I was like, all right, well, my ma's always with me. So my first image was my ma's with me. Like, genetically I am her. And she informs me. She's in my heart, in my head. So I would have talked to her image in my mind's eye. And then eventually I was like, do you know what? The pagans in Ireland, the druids in Ireland, they looked a lot at nature. All right. For me, God is nature. For me, God is my man. For me, God is love. For me, God is light. And then the more I kind of went into it, I kind of went down the plant medicine routes in Peru, working with shaman and all this, shamans and all that. And it's another part of my story. And then I was like, oh, wow, maybe I can't describe it with language. Like, it's like, I can't use language to describe what it is. But if I was trying to use language to maybe share a story with a listener or whatever, it kind of be like, for me, God is love. You know, for me, maybe the metaphor of heaven and hell is the mental state you can be in. You know, maybe heaven is that state of mind when you're in a state of bliss and contentment and love. And maybe hell is when those dark shadows are coming in, you know.
State of fear.
And, you know.
Where I feel like for whatever reason, I'm sure there's a lot of people fucking smarter than I am that know, but between the news and everything else and everything you read, it's all kind of to keep you on a fear.
It's by design.
Do you know what I mean?
By design.
To be on this level of fearfulness. Like I remember watching something and it fucking blew my mind. It's just, they talk about energy and there's no past, there's no present. We are all energy, and you can shift in and out of these, like, let's say, time frames.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, you've, like, and I watch Bleeding everything, and I believe everything, do you know, to the point where that's why I would probably be an agnostic. Like, my family are Catholic and everything else, but there's so much stuff, and there's so many religions that all have great points that I'm like, oh, I like that. Oh, I really like that. And I just like to take it from everything. And mainly the thing I try and take from all is love, is the good parts, is what I can do. But I was saying, so the energy, yeah, so you can change. And you were saying it's how you perceive a thought or how you treat the thought. Like I was saying earlier on, my missus, I was doing the running, and she had said it to me. She was like, I was like, I'm going to run every day now, and I'm doing it for the 34th of August. And she was like, really good. She was like, love it. She was like, but remember, I have me radiation, because my missus is going through cancer as well. So she has never liked her either. But she's we're good. We caught it early, and it was the best thing that could have happened, because it was going to happen anyway. So we caught it really early, and she had the surgery, and now she just has the radiation. She's on tablets for 5 years, but now she has the radiation. But stupid hole here, I went and fucking I was like, let's do the running, let's do August, let's do all of this. And I never took into consideration, whole radiation is this month. And Jackie knows me better than anybody else. She knows I need to do it. But she was just reminding me of, like, she was like, look, I'm going to have the radiation. She was like, so there'll be some days you'll be out with Aiden and the buggy and everything else. And then when I think about it, I'm like, oh, that'd be a great video to have. Yeah. But in the moment, I instantly went to a selfish cunt and was like, oh, well, fuck you now. Do you know what I mean? I had all these preconceived thoughts of, oh, I'll do this and this, because when I was running, she'd mind. Jackie always done everything. And instead of me being like, oh, shit, yeah, she's in that, my train of thought went into fucking childish, selfish mode, where I just didn't say anything. And I was just sitting there, and for a few minutes, and I had an internal battle with myself where I was like, bro, shut the fuck up, mate. Yeah. Like, she's going through cancer, and here you are in the car. And this is all internal shit for myself, do you know what I mean? Because I love the woman, and I'd do anything for her. And it was only then after I says to myself, right, go from this level here where we're at, let's just move it up a few inches into, like, a bit of serenity or peace or understanding. And I just sat with myself for a few more minutes before I went me run. And before I even went on the run, didn't even take the run. It just took that 30 seconds of actual noticing the thought and being like, bro, shut the fuck up, will you? Like, just, you know, into that. And as you can see, I ramble.
No. But what you're talking about there is awareness. Yeah. It's that awareness. But that's a natural thing, Mick. And I think what we do as humans, we beat ourselves up. And this, everyone's going to relate to this, because we all pretend that we're perfect. But we're, like I said at the start, we're not, we're far from it. We got excited about doing something right. I need to do this for myself. I'm going to commit to 31 days. I have a plan. This is going to help me feel better. And someone threw a spanner in the works. And then you went, fuck it.
That's all it was.
And you felt anger, and you felt, that's called being a fucking human. And what you're saying is just being honest about it. And it takes it like a set of balls. This is where I actually went to. And I kind of was, she's really inconveniencing me where I'm at.
A cancer, you know what I mean?
Do you know what I love about recovery so much is honesty.
Yeah.
Like if you really want to be in recovery, not just kind of giving it lip service, or, like, you know, because you can not drink, but you can be as mad as a brush. But, like, if you want sobriety's connection with things that serve you, but it's also connection with yourself. But it comes through raw honesty, and that might start with, like, community with people that you can have chats with. Like, how beautiful is your honesties, both of you, right? And you sharing that, and, like, I taught my own wife Gracie there, and she's gone through some stuff, and I've tried to be present for her. But she's also been there for me, because people think, you run a kickboxing club. I'm running the club out there in Nace, Bushido Martial Arts. It's a great gym, you know. If anyone's out in Kildare, we've got 4-year-olds up to adults, and it's kind of like we're training. We're coming at it from a certain angle, you know. We're kind of like ordinary Joes in dodgeball, you know. We're everything but the pirate walking through, you know. But it's a good place. But when you're running a kickboxing gym for years and you're teaching yoga for years, there's an assumption that, like, you get to avoid overthinking, or you get to avoid. Now it becomes less, but we're human, as you say, Alan. And I lost one of my best friends about 2 months ago, in April. So what's that? 3 months, 3 months ago.
That was only
Very
recently.
heavy, very heavy now.
Yeah.
And he was a beautiful man, genius.
Yeah.
He had a brewery out in Ballyfermot. It was flying. Whiplash. He had a pub in the city centre called Fidelity. It's flying.
Oh yeah.
He main stage Electric Picnic. He's only 38, Alex. Very, very sad. But I cancelled my classes for a few weeks. The pain was visceral. I've never felt that like it. It was like unbelievable stuff. And Gracie was there and she was supportive, you know. But I had to be kind enough to myself in that moment too, to be like, all right, recovery and yoga and mindfulness isn't about projecting false positivity at times of grief. But what I was able to do during that was like, I'm not going to use this as an excuse to be cruel to other people, and I'm not going to lose me recovery because of this pain. I now have control over my relationship with this pain. So I let myself cry privately, I might add, a lot. I let myself kind of work through different emotions, and I wrote. I hadn't written in years. I have my guitar with me because I heard your rap. We'll play a song in a minute that I wrote in the last few weeks. Getting out of my comfort zone. Did a documentary with Damien Dempsey about music, creativity, and I was doing the yoga, and he's encouraging me to sing and stuff.
Is this called In Between the Breath and Song?
Yeah, it's coming out soon. It's been ready for a while. We'll put it out soon.
You were saying, and he was bringing out his album and that, so he kind of left it, and it's still not out now.
No, it's not out. It's not out. It'll be out in the next couple of weeks, hopefully.
100%. Anybody watching, I'm really looking forward to that, because just even listen to yourself as well, and then Damo's been a big inspiration. Like as you were saying, and I remember you saying it as well, and you summed it up so perfectly. It was just like he sang from the area. You know, he sang, what he was singing about was the pride that
he sang from his heart,
and that you felt as an Irishman and as someone who grew up in that area. And like I know you mentioned as well, and I loved it, the Holywell.
Yes.
Was any saying, because I know he's from Holywell as well. From Holywell Road. So the Holywell. Can you just explain that to me?
Yeah, just because I love what you are doing here and encouraging creativity and all. I wrote a poem. About when was it? 15 years ago or something, and it came to me head today. Honest to God. I had zero plans on doing poetry or singing. Right? I flicked on my phone before I came here. I was like, I better listen to the lads a bit, you know.
Thanks,
and I was like,
most people don't anyway.
I was like, they're deadly. And I was like, he's a great rapper. And I was like, all right. And then you left a voice note saying, bring your guitar. And then I was like, why should I not come out of my comfort zone, etc. So I wrote this poem years ago after my first eureka moment with meditation, you know. And it was just nothing. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, of course.
So it was called Nothing. I better remember it now. But it was first experience I had with meditation where I went deep enough where the kind of sparring with my thoughts kind of just disappeared somewhat, and I was just there, you know. It was like I was after transcending somewhat into that kind of, they talk about nirvana and stuff. It doesn't happen every time you meditate.
Yeah, I've had it,
but it experience. So it was called Nothing, and I wrote it down in kind of one go. So it's called Nothing. So it was see, now I'm nervous now. It was like last night in a dream state, I stopped to concentrate on nothing, and in the nothingness I felt something. I felt bliss. To stare through a new prism, a new schism envisioned. Beyond decisions and indecisions, I have this vision of mental prisons, and they're all shut and they're empty. I sat still for a minute, and in the stillness I felt plenty. It was as if this calm prevailed. Me ego, myself became derailed as I sailed away from the clocks. The loud tick and the quiet talk became fainter. And in my heart and in my mind and in my spirit, I transformed into a talented painter. Only the world, it was my canvas. I stopped to start to understand that it's all relative. These concepts we call truth. I understood then and there that the honest fruit is the one that nourishes. To flourish is to move away from vacillations and oscillations and changing faces, that heaven and hell aren't spaces or places, but a state of mind. I know I'm not me changing body, but I'm the changeless self that dwells inside. I try to understand why I deny myself these eternal sounds. They're found right here in the depth of me, the holy well. They're found right there in the depth of you, the holy well. You might not hear them right now, but they're still true. They're true and they're beautiful, just like you.
Oh, that got me there. So, and you know, and I try and do, because as I try and be present when I'm listening, because what I will do is I'll start trying to analyse your bars as you're saying them, and I'm like, oh, that's a really good one. So I try and sit in it. That was absolutely beautiful.
Thanks very much.
That was beautiful. Wrote 15 years ago. So I'll give you props for even remembering it, or for even if you had reread that, to bring it back up. I find there's a lot of songs I have here stored somewhere and I don't know them until I get the first line of it. If I can get the first line out, it's like unraveling a thread. Do you know, once I have the first line, it will all just come back. It's repetition.
Literally, at the time when we were traveling, one of the things I did with the remote ear thing was I set up a Aurora Talks night. It was just an open mic night, because we were growing up around folk music. There was always the noble call. So in our house, it's like, doesn't matter if you're a brilliant singer or a bad singer, everyone does a party piece.
Fucking love that.
And that's it.
Love that.
And then when you do a performance, you get what we called in the house the noble call. So then you can like, Alan, you're next, or Nick, you're next.
The noble call.
And then you have to then you do a performance. But can be even say a joke, or if you're a kid, it can be nervous. I used to do R. Kelly. I used to look at the girl. Wait, what? That didn't age well. That didn't age well. But I think my favourite movie was Space Jam.
I believe I can fly.
You'd be looking at the floor.
I believe. It's the remix to Ignition, hopping fresh out the kitchen.
Exactly.
Okay, that was beautiful. That was really, really good.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, it was really, and you can feel the rawness. You know when something that, because I'm not musically talented whatsoever, but you can feel like it's mad. Energy's a big thing. That's something I got when I came into the club. But you can feel when you're trying to be present and listen and engage with it. Like you can kind of feel some of your emotion when you were writing that yourself. Do you know what I mean? When you're really connecting with someone.
It was really nice. It was beautiful.
We're all just like the holy well thing. Like if you imagine, I love the concept of a well. Like you have to go down, like dependent. My granny had a well in Clare, but it wasn't like when I think of a well in the movie, it's a red brick and you've got a bucket. My granny's well was a big lump of plywood covering a hole in the ground, and you dunked in with your bucket, and that was the drinking water. You couldn't drink the water in the house, you know. And kids were barred from there. There was a great fear a kid would fall in. It was deep, you know. So in us all, there's a well of light and love and energy, and you know, if you haven't accessed it in a while, you might have to go deeper and deeper and deeper to get it or to access it. And it's like just the more you're doing stuff from a place of love, like create, like music, song, like poetry, painting, sea swimming, doing a selfless act, lending someone your ear, cooking a meal for somebody. The more you're doing that stuff, it's like that well is filling up, you know. And the greatest gift of recovery is you're learning, like a lot of addiction stems between your ears, you know, like you're up in this like fucking merry-go-round in your head, and the more you come down into your heart, back into your belly, the more you live your truer, authentic self. Because, you know, we all have masks to an extent, and you wear them for survival sometimes. So it's not necessarily all like you wear a mask. Like if I'm walking home through my neighbourhood, I'm gonna walk a certain way just because, you know, I don't want to be, you know,
or anybody say.
You know what I mean. So you're gonna like carry yourself. Certain environments might require it, but like, can you be comfortable enough in your own skin most of the time?
Yes.
And do you have a safe enough space where you do unveil it and you say to your friend, like my buddies now, like nowadays, like Shane and Ronan or Mick or Damo, like I still do, or Sparky earlier, like he comes on the hikes with us as well. Like we can talk about like that loss of Alex and just be like, oh man, I'm just on a loop here, you know. Or my wife had gone through something a while ago, and just the inability, I can't influence this. I just like, what am I gonna do? Like, but to be able to share that with men. So my big thing nowadays is like strong men, in the sense that like There's an expression this Shaolin monk says, he's like, have demon hands but Buddha heart.
Nice.
You know? So it's just like, I'm going to train every day because I love physicality, and I want to have in my head that, like, look, at not the toughest person in the world, don't put yourself on a pedestal.
Yeah.
But I'll have a go with anyone.
Yeah.
And there's no one's gonna like bully me.
Yeah.
I won't accept it, you know? But the Buddha heart comes from the fact that, like, you're going to make the weakest person in the room feel safe.
Yes.
So your motivation is love.
Yeah.
But you've got competency to defend yourself and be ferocious if necessary.
The warrior in the garden.
The warrior in the garden,
Yeah,
exactly.
The main garden.
Demon hands and Buddha heart. Demon hands and Buddha heart.
Yeah.
And I think if more men realised that, like, do you know what? Like, we're a duality of sorts. Like, you can still, if you deny those sadness, those insecurities, and you deny those things, you'll never grow and you'll lash out at the world.
Yeah.
So it's finding trusted mentors and finding safe space and environment, because I'm not suggesting that you spill your beans to everyone at every time.
Yeah, yeah.
In safe environments, you find friendships that's real and you're on that frequency of honesty, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's where the healing lay. Healing lay in honesty. It lay in going into the holy well, pulling it out. And I think the world would be a better place if we had it.
Absolutely. I'm more of it. I think we've learned over even with the kind of the guests that we have on that are mixed martial arts and everything else as well. There's a lot to be said, isn't it, for having that confidence within yourself that I can back myself up here, to the point where you don't have to then. You know, it's not a case of, like, you see somebody, the loudest man in the room is normally is normally the weakest man, you know, so to speak. Where you can quietly just say, like, you know yourself, I can walk the missus home later and she'd be grand. You know what I mean?
And knowing as well, like, so I always used to get asked to do the door because I was running kickboxing clubs. And my dad said, like, you don't have the disposition for the door. And I was like, oh, and I was nearly insulted, but he was right. Because, like, it's known you're laying to, like, in the sense that, like, if someone's a really good doorman, they're so at ease with themselves that there's never an energy up. Maybe I'd get away with it now, but no one asks me anymore. I'm too much into yoga. But I might get away with it now. But what would have happened to me is I still was that bit uneasy in myself. So if someone tried to emasculate me, I'd have overcompensated.
Yes.
And that wasn't from a place of confidence. That would have been a place of fear. And I'd have lashed out.
Battered them,
And that's not healthy. That's not good.
And the blade's so easy as well. You'd fucking take someone's head off.
But you're playing the persona. Because your brain's telling you, I need to act this way. This is the persona that I'm telling myself is what it should be. So now I'm going to play to that.
When I played hurling out in Towers in Clondalkin, at my age group, I would have been the captain of the team. You'd be breaking hurls off walls, you know, all that madness before games. But I'd get terrible anxiety. And when I was kickboxing, like, we'd go away to Italy and England or Belgium. You'd be going away. And I'd still get nervous. It wasn't the fear of being hit, because you're so used to being hit. I don't know what it was. It was anxiety of, like,
the moment
I'm not good enough, or people are going to find out, or whatever it might be, you know? So all this other stuff is feeding into you being comfortable enough in yourself to perform, whether it's sport or life, or if someone's giving you guff, or if you're giving yourself guff. Do you know what I'm saying? They're all kind of intertwined. The holy well's where it's at. Recovery should be joyous, happy, and free. That doesn't mean you don't have grief, where I had it a few months ago. But finding outlets, music, poetry, art, sea swimming.
It's your perspective, isn't it? It's how you look at it. It's how you can look at the things that is in front of you. And see it.
Gratitude.
Yes.
Imagine just being grateful every day. I can see.
Yeah,
like, do you know what I mean? I can hear.
He said,
that's mad, isn't it?
There's once, because we worked in the Sky Desk together, and I was in his recovery, and I wasn't. I was fucking still on a bleeding mad one.
I was looking at him, going to go.
Like, I'd rock up and Albie, and Ali be like, what you do the weekend? And I'd be like, I was here, I was in bleeding, so-and-so was gaffing. He'd be like, bro, fucking hell. But he was telling me about a gratitude journal, and I'm open to everybody, like, do you know what I mean? Like, anybody and everybody, once, if you have a bit of love in your heart, I'm all for it. But he was saying he does a gratitude journal, so I was instantly interested. I was like, what's it for? Like, what do you do it for? And he was explaining to me, and he was like, some days I wake up and be like, I'm grateful for having eyes to see me children with, and that. And then as soon as he said it to me, I was like, no fucking way. My eyes are working now, and I have them, and I've taken them for granted my whole life, and here I am now just thinking to myself, fuck, if we had no eyes, that'd be a serious fucking, that's it, you know? And it gives you a quick little, like, oh fuck, like sometimes I like, whatever way I'm thinking, I look at me kids and I'm like, not one of them are sick. I'm like, oh Jesus, what a lottery win. Like, do you have any kids?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
It's in the plans.
It's in the plans. Come in, I tell you, you're going to be a fucking staunch father. You're going to be an unbelievable father. And what knowledge and so to speak, what your dad has done for you, what you will instill in them children. No matter whether girl or boy, you're going to have a little warrior, and they're going to be loved.
See, I really appreciate
You're welcome.
that.
No problem at all.
See as well, like on the gratitude stuff, because I think that's the secret. That's
huge.
But like, when you're on a mindfulness kick and you're on a gratitude kick, like little things, like see that water there, like my mouth's a bit dry, right? So I'll take a little bit of water. Instead of my head being somewhere else, I'll be like, oh, that was lovely, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, say someone makes you a coffee, and oh, that was lovely coffee. Do you know? I'm sure I'll get one at the end of it. You know? But you know what I'm saying? Like, you start like acknowledging every little things.
Yeah.
Life is just like so many little miracles throughout life. Everyone, you're gonna have your challenges, but like someone was saying to me about like yoga bringing about bodily flexibility, or I can't do yoga because I'm not flexible.
But yeah, it's always the excuse.
But like, it's not about touching your toes. It's the journey on the way down. And then the other thing is like mental flexibility. Like, what does that even mean? It means like when life throws at you a curveball, you don't snap. You flow with it. In the same way that your muscle doesn't snap if you haven't been stretching it. So you're kind of combining physical agility and flexibility and mental flexibility and agility. And then you're just waking up each day and going, do you know what? I woke up today.
It's huge.
I'm grateful.
How many people don't? They go to bed today. Just take today, for example. How many people go to bed today and don't wake up tomorrow?
Yeah.
And they thought they would, they assumed, they took for granted. That's when I work with people, one of the sayings I always use, because people get so fixated on the outcome or working down. We all do it. Some awareness, because I tried to practice, it's brought me back, but we all get so focused on the outcome. When I get there, I'll be happy when I get this, or if this happens. And I'm like, hold on, who says you're waking up tomorrow?
100%. And like, you're like, this is the thing, it's like, be present enough to be grateful that you wake up. And then earlier on we were talking about like when you're kind of like your limiting beliefs. I think that was brought up earlier, and I just thought of it there, because to be present doesn't mean you don't plan. Like, to be present doesn't mean you don't have goals and dreams. To be present is actually the opposite. So you project forward into the future, the physical body you want, the mental state you want to be in, the financial situation, the professional situation. Make plans. Write them down and then make practical day-to-day steps to achieve them. But stop fixating on the result and fixate on the process to get there. And that requires you being present.
Yeah.
And then you like, it's all these little micro changes that you do in your recovery that compound to create that future self that you want. And don't beat yourself up along the way if you don't reach each milestone. Like, have it practical. Today I'm going to do this for me physical, this for me mental, this for me spiritual health. Little goals. Have your dreams, set your goals, reflect too. That's the other thing about being present. That doesn't mean you don't reflect. It's like you reflect and you analyze patterns of behavior and traps you fell into so you don't fall into them again. We don't drive down the motorway which are looking at the rear view mirror the whole time. So like, you've done your reflection, okay, and then you're in the present, and then you plan, but then you leave that and then you come back into the present to do your little bits along the way. And then the whole time you're doing them, it's with gratitude. It
is the game changer though.
Game changer.
It really is. Can I ask you, because it popped into me at the recovery, because it's something when I'm working with people and I say to them, you know, saying about going to meetings or things like that, and I say, would you ever think, because you mentioned earlier on, do you ever think about 12 steps? Do that. Not doing that. How did you do the steps? What was your, and I'm very interested because where you've gone on to, you know, and you've such understanding. What was the steps like for you?
When I ended up going into meetings in the beginning, I was kind of already on a sobriety buzz to an extent, a few months. And I have a funny story where I bumped into a fella, an anonymity thing, but anyway, a friend of mine, I was out running in the middle of the night shadowboxing. I said, did you hear that story? I was out shadowboxing in the middle of 1 in the morning or something, and I was back doing me bit of, you know, I'm going to get fit. And then next one I look around and there's like a pit bull dog there, like big, huge dog, black dog. Oh yeah, the Brett was held down. Here, boy, here. And then this gentleman of a fellow who's a friend of mine now, he comes along. Oh, he's friendly, pal. I'm looking at him kind of going, I'm more worried about you.
What are you doing out this hour?
So anyway, we ended up walking together and talking, and it turned out we were talking about travels in ayahuasca and different things like this. And then he said something about drinking, and I was like, I don't drink anymore. Why not? And and he goes, would you say you're an alcoholic? And I was like, hold on a minute, you know. Anyway, we got chatting more and more, and I just liked him, and he's a very good kickboxer, and he was a good fella, you know. And he goes, do you want to go to a meeting tomorrow? And I was like, yeah, all right. But thought I'd never see him again. Fuck, I was outside my gaff.
I have to follow
these guys. These could show up. No matter what, they show up.
And then I ended up going into this meeting in Rialto, and I cried because the identification was unbelievable. People have heard people say, I thought he'd text ahead and kind of said a few things, and
you realise you're not mad. You're not on your own.
There was all that kind of stuff, and the first little bit then I was like, right, I'll get the big book, and I read it myself.
Wow, it's not easy reading.
I loved it. I thought this was profound stuff, and I really very early on I intellectually got it.
Sorry, what do you mean the big book?
That's the book. The
Big book of Alcoholics Anonymous.
Okay.
I recommend anyone read
it. Yeah,
it's amazing.
There's
a guy. The references in it's amazing. Like very spiritual, profound text.
Yeah.
So I read it first, and then I was like, right. And for the first little bit, then people are funny at meetings in the sense that like everyone's on their own journey. And some people are very early and they're raw and they're very like emotional. And you see the old timers who get it. They're very easy in themselves and they share it from a certain perspective. It's all a journey. So I'm not saying someone's recovery is better than another. But my early recovery was a little bit like I wanted to share how I understood recovery intellectually. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Or some days I'd go in and I'd want to lean heavy on the war stories. And I was careful here today because I was like, I don't want to lean into too many of them if I can. Not ashamed or embarrassed about them. It's part of a life. But for me, my big kick now is recovery. Do you know?
It's, don't worry, there'll be a part two.
Yeah. But anyone can be anything.
Yeah.
I truly believe that.
Yeah.
I truly believe it. Limiting beliefs are self-imposed and you can dissolve them through belief. But I read the book and I was intellectually, blah, blah, blah. And then it was only a bit later on where a good friend of mine was like, you're living it in your head still. Come into your heart. Huh? Come into your heart. Now, I had that head-heart cohesion from yoga, from martial arts, but I was still falling into this trap of like, I'll tell you what recovery is, and I was able to spout it. I was living it in here. I'd come back up into my head because that's my defect of character was slipping back here, come back in, slipping here, come back in. Eventually, a few years around meetings, and I did the steps, and the 12 steps is this process, you know. Everyone, if find a recovery their own way. I'm not going to be a big book basher. I'm not going to tell anyone. It's just my story. And it coincides with all the other stuff. And it was so worthwhile and invaluable for my journey. Like, they kind of, like, first you acknowledge you have a problem with stuff, you know, and then you come to believe something outside you can restore you to sanity. And then you offer over your problems to that higher power. And then you're starting to go into this process of kind of going, that moral inventory. You're going back on on all your life up to this point. When were you hurt and when did you hurt people, and writing it all down. And then you're going into your deepest insecurities. And then with someone you trust and grow to love, there's a sponsorship element. It's like a mentor. Comes like a friend. We call them each other Anam Cara, like soul friend.
Anam Caras, yeah.
You then share all those things, get them off your chest, burn it. Then you write a list again, like, well, did I hurt anyone that I can make amends to directly?
Powerful part.
The
amends is
and
a
then
powerful part.
Indirectly, because maybe like your motivation might not be pure. I'll go to my ex, I'll tell her that I'm good now. But you might be only doing it because you want to get back with her. So there's you know, if you have a good mentor, you'll guide you through it. So then you're cleaning your side of the street. And then you work through it, and then there's a meditation of sorts, daily inventory and meditation. And then the 12 step, then you're going to give them back. It's like a program for living.
Anybody could do it, recovery or not. Like it is. Like I honestly believe because it's used in the fellowships. But honestly, if you commit to it and just go through it, go on the journey, stop fix it. Because I get with people, I bring people through the steps to fixation on the outcome. Am I fixed yet? Am I better yet? I'm like, well, only you can tell yourself that. Do you know what I mean? But it's then what you'll see in meetings a lot is as well, because the washing machine mind that you talked about earlier on, and everyone gets it because I understand we all want to feel better. We all want to be happy and have free. But people are like, how long did it take for you to go through your step one? And someone's like, well, like I done my step one with my sponsor. It took nearly 2 months, 3 months. I remember because I was like, shit, is it? Because I seen other people, they're like, I done mine in 2 weeks. I was like, well, why did he get it? We all want that quick But instead of just let go of it. What will be, will be. Go on the journey. If it takes you a month, but if you're doing the work, you're doing it. And that's good enough if you're trying and turning up and giving it a shot. But I was very interested just to see. But you can say when someone's, I don't like rambling either, you turn me into a rambler. But you can see.
I'm turning you down. Fuck off, me
I'll give you the t-shirt.
Thanks for that. Nice plug in there.
But you can see when someone speaks, when you just went on the journey. You know, you went through it. And would you, going back, obviously, because what I'm trying to do here is, and something that we encounter a lot as people trying to get into recovery is, it's just the barriers, the mental blocks. We're telling ourselves what it is before we even have a clue. If someone said to you, would you do the steps again now and you've done them? Would you go through them again?
But like, you're doing them all the time though, aren't you? In a way, like, you know, you're kind of taking stock of where you're at. And in answer to your question, yes, I probably would. Why not? And would I recommend? I think everyone should just read the big book anyway. Like if like,
what's it called?
It's called the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous.
It's that, and that's what it's called. So it's not like the Bible.
No,
but it
can look like
it does. It has a bit of a look to it.
So it's the Big Book of Alcoholism.
Alcoholics Anonymous.
I'm definitely gonna have a read.
Why not?
Like,
I truly believe nearly everybody's addicted to something.
Everybody is an addict.
Right?
Everybody is an addict.
Now, it could be overthinking, it could be work, it could be chasing this or that. I'm working now, like, I'm lucky enough that it's sport teams, it's community centres, it's addiction centres. Yeah. But I'm also now working with kind of like business professionals and whatnot. And then you learn, like, some people can get addicted to kind of like limiting self-beliefs. They can get addicted to deviant behaviours.
Yes.
They can get addicted to social media. They can get addicted to whatever it might be.
Living in that lower sense of state as well, do you know, just being addicted to fucking...
So when you take that 12 steps, right, instead of like succumbing or acknowledging that you're powerless over alcohol, you just say that you're powerless over whatever, porn. I'm powerless over... Pick it and insert, and then you follow the logical steps throughout, you know. And look, if it's not for you, you've not lost out on that, and you've just read it like a really good self-help
and I think
book,
they don't make it or who you are, like in terms of that, like even, you know, like your feelings like sad or whatever else, like we have it in Irish as well, like it's the sadness is upon you. It'll leave. The same way I think, like with the addictive sides, they can all be left, but it's just within training, like, you know. Like when I was drinking heavy, like I didn't even notice. Do you know what I mean? It was me missus that I had to turn around and be like, "Come here, this is fucking madness. Like, you're drinking every single night." And it was only when I kind of stepped away and I started thinking about it, then I was like, "Oh, yeah, maybe this is a thing." So, and it took me a long time to be like, right, something has to give here. When is it going to give? All right, I'll give it up. 2 days, 3 days later, I'm having a sup again, and it's like, I'll be grand. And yeah, it just took a big penny drop moment to be like, right, this is it. This is happening. It has to happen.
But what if everyone said to them, like, this is the other thing, like, what if everyone said to themselves, honestly, right? Not for anyone else, not for you, not for me, for themselves. Does X serve me?
Yeah.
And if they're being honest and it serves them, who are we to judge? And I'd say that for anything. I'm very liberal in how people want to live their life. But like, you get to a certain stage in your life and you kind of go, I know I shouldn't drink coffee at midnight because I won't sleep tonight. That substance at that time doesn't serve me, right? So what's my relationship with the substance? What's my relationship with the behaviour? Is this filling the holy well, or am I losing myself to it? And my journey slipped from... like euphoric recall would come up in me a lot where I get great memories because I was smiler, like I was great crack at times. I was on the table singing. You know what I mean? So I can get that, but then when I get honest near the end, like I was drinking in bed when I wake up and I was getting body pains and it was like a necessity rather than something that was serving me. So my relationship with it went that way. Now, was it nature? Was it nurture? Who cares? I got to a stage in my life where when I started getting real and started doing a bit of work, I was like, this doesn't serve me. And then I ended up in South America and I thought, I was 2 years sober. Sure, you know, I'll have a drink again.
Grand now, yeah.
And then like 6 weeks later, I was on it every day. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I got another year and then I thought, you know, I'll try it again. And then again, it was like a month on it every day. And then I threw the towel in. You know, enough, I started to realise. Now, all during that time, I was reading self-help books and I was doing yoga, I was doing martial arts. But it was like, it was a journey into kind of discovering what worked and didn't work for me. And now I just kind of like choose to, for the most part, be like a teetotaler of sorts.
Yeah.
You know.
And is this for forever, or are you just kind of saying, well, we'll see? Like
one day at a time.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I like the person I am today. I don't like want to even throw dirt on who I was. But like in the story of our life, you can't just write the same page over and over. It'd be a boring story.
Fuck, yeah.
And where I was at, and when I decided to make the change, I can't be honest with myself and switch back to there and still embody the kind. We talked about limiting beliefs. I feel kind of free at the minute. So I don't want to kind of build a wall up around myself again. I enjoyed the chapters that preceded it, but where I'm at now, and we aren't like that, try and just say today, one day at a time. Another powerful message is someone shared me in early recovery was like, James, you can go to the offie today. No one's stopping you. You can like, because a lot of people in early recovery have a fear with commitment. So the thought of doing this forever becomes daunting. So just try and really simplify it down to today and your little micro changes. And where I'm at with it now, here's one for you. We were in school. I talked about this before. In secondary school, I found it very hard to sit still. I could swing on my chair. Now, there's an argument that schooling made in the Industrial Revolution times not built for purpose, really. But it really didn't suit me. Like, I've so much energy, it's crazy. Like, so I'd get in detention a lot for swinging on chairs and making jokes, and I wasn't bad. I was couldn't sit still.
Hyperactive,
hyperactive. Like, and now in my kids' classes, a lot of parents are like, "Little Billy has." You name the alphabet, you know. And I was like, right, what I'm doing now, next week, I'm going down to a monastery in Clare for 10 days to sit in silence.
Vipassana. Vipassana.
10 hours a day in a seated position in complete silence. No eye contact, no talking, no music, no nothing.
In a seated
position.
Like Zen position? Whatever you want, whatever's comfortable.
They'll give you a seated position.
Fuck off. 10 hours?
10 hours for 10 hours a day for 10 days. And complete silence for the whole 10 days. Now, why am I doing that? There's a multitude of reasons. But my why is for myself. But it's also to kind of say, you know what? Imagine someone... Like I did a documentary with an ultramarathon runner. And he started with a couch to 5k. And then he's running 200 kilometers. So people talking about meditation. I can't do 5 minutes. Well, I couldn't do 1 minute. Now I'm going to do 100. Like, I know I'm going to do 10 days. Right? So I'm just showing you that there's a journey into self-mastery of the mind. I've done the 10,000 hours punching and kicking and all that kind of stuff. So I'm feeling confident enough with that kind of area of stuff. But this is kind of my marathon with mindfulness. And I want to do it for myself. Because they talk, Alan Watts you mentioned earlier, he says, and it's ironic, my friend Martin laughed at me last time because we did at the end of the podcast, I said, imagine we had a podcast and just one of us talked the entire time, right? No, the entire time. Eventually, it's just one voice. Like the person who talked the whole time would leave and they haven't actually learned that because they've only... Now, your thoughts are the very same in the sense that, like, if you just think all the time, but you don't stop to, like, see the world, you're not inputting that new. You're thinking about thinking. So you're not actually, like, elevating your understanding of stuff. So when you do Vipassana, apparently how it's meant to work anyway, for the first few days, everything's going very fast and spinning. But eventually you go through a point, and then all of a sudden you see what Alan Watts calls the unspeakable world. So then all of a sudden you see stuff without applying language and symbols to it. And you just start being present enough to witness stuff. And I think that's a beautiful thing to try and get.
Looking forward to that?
I'm looking forward to that. And you know what? It's a challenge. Like I ran a marathon last year, did a marathon out in Greece.
Just to make it that little bit harder.
I always like to have like something that's kind of like feels beyond reach to just do, to kind of beat me own head. And when I was sitting with me loss there with my friend Alex, and I was kind of sitting there going, you know, what can I do with this loss? I was like, there's nothing I can do. I just have to sit with it. And then I was like, I was reading a book by Jet Li, and he says, and he did the Vipassana, he said it was the hardest thing he ever did. So then I Googled it. And there was one in Clare in like August. I was like, I'll apply for it. I applied for it years ago, didn't get it.
Right.
Okay.
Get an email back. Yeah, you've been accepted. I was like, oh no.
Here's your mate.
it's
Thanks,
real.
thanks,
Yeah.
thanks,
So,
Alex.
yeah.
You know,
So
yeah.
now I'm gonna go down like and
Lovely.
and do it.
Is it eyes open or closed? That was just something that popped
To
into
be
my head.
honest with you, I'm assuming they're closed,
Right.
but I don't know. I really like. I kind of know what it's about, and I kind of don't know what it's about.
Yeah,
At the
yeah.
end of it, I'll come back
That's the
and share.
beauty of it as well.
You
Do you
know?
know what Jet Li's favourite drink is?
Whoa,
What the-
yes.
I was going to say gin and tonic.
Nice. So, are we going to do some music? Or do you want to wrap it?
Just one more question,
Go
something that, and I'm thinking, right, and it's something for myself as well.
Yeah.
Say someone who was interested in getting into meditation,
Yeah.
Wim Hof breathing, or
Yeah.
anything like that. Like me, my brain searches for structure.
Right.
Because if I leave it open to too much interpretation, I'll end up doing fucking nothing.
Yeah.
It's ranting that you say, like a YouTube video or like a course to say that you should, somewhere to give you a basic to kind of bring you through.
That's brilliant, because I literally asked to do this for the 31st of for the 31 days.
Yeah.
So is there a video then that I should watch? Because what I'm trying to do for people, even when they're watching, not many people are going to watch anyway, but what I'm trying to do is come from a normal state of mind.
Yeah.
I'm just a normal bloke. I'm Joe Soap. I'm just doing a 5k and I'm just doing 5 minutes of meditation and 5 minutes of yoga. So it's 10 minutes every day.
Then.
And I know I can fucking do it. I know. It's just a matter of, I'll sit and doom scroll for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So why can't I go in and do this and do it? So is there particular ones, or is there any kind of just do any beginner video?
Here, lads, you're speaking me language. I love it. I love what you're doing. I do. Like, it's just like we can reimagine and redefine and re-begin who we want to be at any time. Like, recovery is kind of like, imagine the sculptor and you have a big lump of stone and then you're chipping away at it to discover that piece of art that was behind it at all. That was always there though, right? It was in the imagine. And like, chipping away to find out that quintessential self, you know? And I love that, like, do something for your physical health, running. Brilliant. I think focus is something that's people struggle with. So I would recommend picking a book, right? And, you know, if you're illiterate or whatever, trying to get back in, there's a lot of courses with adult literacy as well. Because I know a lot of people are embarrassed around their reading ability.
Yeah.
So you can kind of get back in and learn. But and trying to learn a new skill like that, that's going to be really good for people's brain and the neurological pathways and stuff. If you can already read, to try and pick a book and say, I'm going to read 2 pages. If you're a good reader, a chapter, and that's part of your wake up, or you're going to bed at night, right? And that is also focus, because you have to focus in on and what will happen when you haven't read in ages, you'll have to reread paragraphs and all.
I still find that I'm doing it, because my brain, I'll read past it and I'm reading it, I'm all the way trying, I'm like, what the fuck did I even say, actually?
Yeah.
And I go, because it was so interesting when the paragraph's over, I'm like, Jesus, I'm like, actually, hang on. Let me go back there and read, because I'm just like,
A.k.a. says it, you know, stuck in the block, read. Don't let them say what you can achieve.
Yeah.
Because one of the first things they do when you're enslaved was stop you reading, you know? Now, if you're dyslexic and you struggle as well, maybe an audio book or something. So I'd say reading, right? An achievable amount, keep it simple. Second thing I'd say is, if you haven't written out anything around gratitude, to write it out. There's a third thing about like manifestation, who you want to be. William Dyer made it famous, but this is going back years. The I am that I am.
I am that I am.
Like if you Google I am that I am, it's kind of like, you're not going to say I will be a great kickboxer. I will. It's kind of like, I am a great kickboxer. I am. If that's your field, and you're closing your eyes and you're believing it, you're saying it's already done. I am a valuable member of my family who has a great recovery. I am. You say a mantra, write out a little mantra for yourself. First gratitude, then a little what you want to bring into your life. I am a millionaire. I am, if you want to financially free yourself, right? As far as the kind of like waking up, what if you just didn't go on your phone? Say, right, half an hour, I'm not going to go on my phone. So you're not inputting that, and you're actually, the first bit of meditation is you wake up and you just be. That means brushing your teeth, going to the toilet without your phone. Harder than it's harder. Yeah. I'm still guilty of it.
Yeah, look, right.
You know, the alarm goes off and then you might have a little, and then all of a sudden you're like 15 minutes later.
And with that, and people don't realise the power of that, because say, right, wherever, sometimes you wake up in a better headspace than others. But depending on what goes on your feed, like if you see drop dead gorgeous woman, or you see some fella in the gym training abs, and you just feel better. You know, fuck, I don't look like that, or you know, something like that. Then it can just start off a process for the day. Where you could have woke up and had a great day. You start off that, and I know it's with myself. Sometimes I have to stop me thinking, because I'll start the little compounding effect. Oh fuck, I'm not happy about that, and then I'll go and look in the mirror and I'll be like, fuck, don't like that. Or, you know, something I'll notice something I don't like about myself. Then I'm getting ready. I'm like, I look in the mirror. Oh, that doesn't look right. You know, so it's just started off this
negative space.
But just a little thing. But again, it's not taking control of, right, I'm going to do this.
100%. And see, with the breathing stuff and all, I love doing all random breathing techniques. And you come to me classes and I'll do it all. But why don't you even implement it like that? Breathe in for 4.
The box breathing?
Don't even have to box it. Breathe in for 4. Breathe out for 4. 6 or breathe out for 4, whatever. Yeah, right. Or you're gonna say, why is he saying whatever? You know, don't complicate it.
Just do
consciously breathe.
Be aware of what you're doing,
and just be aware of your breath, and try and do like set your timer and do that for like 2 minutes or 3 minutes of just conscious breathing, right? And then the more you get that, then you'll intuitively start messing around with your breath then. Yeah. Your breath's mad. Yeah. And so like sometimes you might need to just calm down. It's just a big breath in and a longer exhalation.
I got fucking addicted to the retention times.
Yeah.
I got fucking, it's the addict in me. I got addicted to retention.
Passing out.
So but retention, so there was a whole group of us at the time. One of the lads basically started, he was like, bro, do you ever see this fucking documentary? Do you ever see this lad over here that's deal? He can melt ice with the temperature of his body and all. And I was like, bollocks, don't start that shit with me. Watched it, instantly hooked. I was like, because I watched other ones, I was like, I don't know. And then he starts backing it up, and he's backing it up with this and science, and all the scientists are coming in, they're hooking everybody up. And like, you have these lads that go on groups, and they're just normal people, and he has them doing breathwork, and then he has them jumping off a fucking cliff into an icy lake, and like, it's crazy. So, but you go through, like, you do 3 or 4 rounds, and like by the 4th round, when you exhale, you stop, and then you put your timer on. Like some of my time, like
I've done this before.
It was like 3 minutes and all. And where I'd stop. I remember I'd done it once, and I stopped, and my fucking fingers and all, they were locked. They were locked. And I was standing there, I was just sitting, I was like, I've been in this state before, but not from breathwork. And I was like that, and then I kind of calmed back down. I was like, whoa, that's a bus.
Wim Hof, like, is my hero.
He is. And rightly so.
He's my hero. And like, his story's incredible. His book is incredible.
Crazy.
He lost his wife to suicide and brought up his kids, and he just went on this mission. Like, why are people unhappy in themselves? Like, what's driving these shadows that someone can take their life? And he just went on this mission, and he just wants to give and share. And like you said there, Mick, he walks the walk. Like, he speaks a bunch of languages. He has 27 world records for doing crazy stuff. And if you went to his class, you know what he says? Breathe, fuckers. He just simplifies it. And like, I'm drawn to that. Like, I'm fortunate enough to be able to teach this, and like, I think I've taught it in over 30 countries now. I've been all over with it.
Yes, bro.
But when I'm in a class, I don't need to like be like, I'm better than that. It's like, no, like,
breathe.
What do you mean? Oh, no, just breathe. Like, witness it, feel it, become it. That is your bridge to the present. That is your anchor to the present. That is your thing that's going to lift you up out of whatever. Before I came here, I was a bit nervous. I don't know, I had a yoga class in the morning, and then I was out with the dogs, and I had a few things going on. And anyway, a few things going on. I was lying there, and I was like, oh, now I asked you to move it to 4. And I was like, I'm going to be late. I'm not going to make 4. And I'm like, I've asked them.
From 5 to 4.
So then I was like, all right, okay. And I did Wim Hof's app. He has an app. So I did that. Now that's a technique I love.
The old bubble.
Is that the bubble? So I've done that for,
I did a couple of rounds of it where you do the retention. But he's another one now as well. There's a holotropic one where you're in 4, out 4, in 4, out 4, and then after about 12 rounds of that, you go in fully, hold and squeeze, and you're pulling energy up your spine. Those kind of ones I'd rather do with people, you know, than kind
just in case, buzz, is it?
I don't know, like, I'm a little bit, you know. Not everyone can explain. It's all on YouTube.
100%.
If actually you're saying about something, if you want, I have my YouTube channel, Mindful Rambler. And I put up 2 meditations.
And that's what I was going to say.
Put my heart into them. I wrote them out with a pen and paper. Now, I look at what people are producing now with the help of computers. But I wrote them out. When I do the Shavasana meditation, I wrote it out, and then I spoken into a mic and I put them up on YouTube. A few people have listened to them.
Because I've seen it. I was looking up, I was researching, and I seen your YouTube. Is it a Kickboxing Yogi on YouTube?
Yeah.
Because there's already
another
a fucking...
fella trying to rob my name.
Bro, he's making content though.
He's banging
the content though. There's another fella on Instagram that just has pictures. Is that for... There's another way. Because I said to him, look up the Moiva Rambler, and he was like, grand. He came back, he was like, bro, why are you getting this fella on? He was like, I can't get that nothing. He's like, there's just fucking pictures. And I was like, and then there was another voice. He's like, hang on, I got the other one. He's actually he's supposed to be on this podcast. But yeah, your man's doing content not as good as yours though.
Do you know what? Like, I'm just refraining from engaging with it because I don't want to.
You can punch his face in. Take his head clean
That's
off,
what a few of the lads have
Take him off the
jokes.
smokes, bro.
But he's just coming at it from like I think I've got some good documentaries there. I did one with an ultramarathon runner, Ken O'Driscoll. I did one with Stephen Ormond. I have the Damien one. I have a few other potentially big exciting ones coming. And then like put my heart into some of the videos and all. And again, I'm not a social media guy. I'm trying. Like I was met with someone yesterday. They're like, when was the last time you've hosted? It was like a month ago, you know what I mean? So I will get a plan together with
this is where this 31 days of August for me is it's the trying to post it every day. It's trying to, like, and even though I have the podcast and everything else, I'm shy at it because it's just a slip there.
If you keep doing what you're doing, this is the other thing I believe, right? If you do what you do, you have the setup. It says outside build it and they will come, doesn't it?
Yeah, right? If you build it, they will come.
But like you're operating from true recovery, and if you're doing that and you just keep going with it, focusing on the process rather than the outcome, it can't but. You have that energies about you. You're listenable, you care. Fixate on that, and it's already happening. Do you know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that.
And we've had to say that to each other a few. I was like, Mick, we're getting the numbers, this, and I says, Mick, and I said it to him, two of us, let's stop focusing on numbers because it's a natural thing. You put yourself out there. And I says, Mick, we just say true to the core what we're trying to do.
I'm a bollocks for the I was just like, I was like, bro, what's the story? That video's not doing this and it's not doing that, and it's silly. So for me, when someone finishes like yourself and Kieran and everybody else, if you can walk away and be like, just even for me, you walk away and be like, Mick fella sound, that was a really nice chat. I think for me that's it. I've done what I set here to do, and that's
I'm
pretty
relaxed
much
now. My shoulders. When I came in here first, I think like knowing what it's a recovery podcast, and then when we start, like I always find that very challenging. Like go back to the start, and you're like, well, what's the audience and what's the context, and like what facet do I link in on? So I think I might have even for myself been a little bit in my head, but at this stage we've navigated. I'm in my body again. It's lovely, you know.
You've come back down.
Like it kind of, I don't know when it happened throughout it, but it happened at some stage.
After your pound.
It could have been
as you know, he's definitely comfortable then.
But like that, which was also bleeding. It was amazing as well. I look forward to hearing, seeing all these documentaries as well. Have you a day for when it's...
The Damien one's coming out, and there's a few. But just to say, like on your journey with this, like I did my first kickboxing class 30 years ago.
Nice.
I did my first yoga class 23 years ago.
What age are you, bro?
38.
Are you 38? Yeah.
And I've been, and then in the last little while, it's starting to get a lot of kind of like, you know, got the Ireland AM thing, the Talking Bollocks thing, and there's a few different print stuff, and it's starting to get a little bit of traction and all that. But like, I'm back in Ireland nearly 7 years, and I've been doing these classes every day.
It didn't happen overnight.
You know, and you kind of like know why you're doing it. Keep kind of doing it, getting and growing with it, and then these other little things are great, but like they'll come or they don't come, and then when they come, stay humble with it. Like, You know, when you're Joe Rogan and all, and you're on that level, remember who you are.
It's gratitude, and we've said this, gratitude. 7 years ago, before I got sober, did I think I'd ever be doing a podcast trying to help? No, did I? Like at the start when you get sober, initially I got sober selfishly because I wanted my current pain and misery to stop. That's the reason I had to. Did I think beyond my wildest dreams I'd be sitting here and doing this? And then when me and Mick were working together, did I think when Mick was going through, they think two of us be sitting on a podcast someday. Did we? Fuck.
There's some days like
you just don't know. But it's gratitude. Again, we rob ourselves because we start thinking, oh, we're not good enough, we're not this, and whoa. Are we trying to help people? Are people messaging saying they're getting something out of it? Then that's it. Yeah, that's all. And that's all it's here. And James is still letting us in the door as well.
That's the main thing. That is the main thing. That's the main thing. I feel like we'll have to there'll be a part two again. Obviously, if you want to come back, because there's
100%.
Especially having separation anxiety already.
I'd love to hear. Now I just want to hear all the fucking that 10-day silent retreat. Like I say that's
10 days, and that's what I was saying to the lads. It's like when you get kind of into recovery and down, you just end up with, you know, we could have a sit down chat about any of the various things. You know, could go into a thing and work with a shaman for a summer. That was in itself. Yeah, there's loads of little bits involved, you know. But I definitely love the support, the channel and all the rest.
100%.
We do a tune.
We do a tune where we get Jamesy in to set it up.
So we're all right. He'll edit this bit out, so he's gonna go.
Yes, lads, I will set you up now in 2 seconds. So what you just want to do is just say wrap it up, kind of in a sense.
Sorry, we jumped off the last time,
And I'll have a pee before I play it.
Absolutely.
No peas.
I just went.
Look, so next we're gonna have a song, Two Boys. I'm gonna jump out because the Two Boys, I want you to just have the energy, the connection on it, because I just sit here like I have a triangle going bing. But firstly, Shay, thanks so much for coming down.
Shane,
that
thank
was
you.
it.
Honestly, thank you
This
so
fella
much.
lit up. I can feel his energy. I'm a big one on energy. I can feel his energy. He wants to go meditating now out in the jacks, but it was brilliant.
I just knew I wanted to have you here.
There's a couple of lads you should get on if you can. Costello.
Yeah.
He's a best. I think he's one of the best old school
honestly,
rappers. Yeah. And I was chatting to him, and look, he's doing a video at the minute. He'd be a great guest.
Costello, yeah.
Mick O'Brien from the Druids.
Yeah.
He'd be a great guest.
100%.
There's a few lads, but like, because you're doing good stuff, people are going to start recommending you to everyone.
Absolutely.
And for you as well.
He'd be a good one to get.
If people
doesn't do a lot, but you might.
If people want to get in touch with you, your class is the thing. Really important. Give it a shout out.
Mindful Rambler, as you said, there's someone else. I'm the Kickboxing Yogi, and it's my own picture in it.
Right.
So if they want to do kickboxing classes, Bushido martial arts in Nice is the gym. You can look that up. Yoga, I'm doing it in Clondalkin on a Thursday night, Saturday morning in Nice. And then I do a lot like Edinmore Women's Group on a Monday if they want to go through, eat it. Tuesday night in the Movement Studio in Nice. Friday morning I'm in Ballyfermot Star. I do a Tuesday class in Kilmore, but that's with like close. Like the open groups, I suppose, would be if you're a female in Edinmore on a Monday, Movement Studio on a Tuesday, Clondalkin on a Thursday, Nice on a Saturday morning. Then I'm doing I do businesses and stuff. If businesses want to kind of do like workplace cohesion, anxiety and stuff, I've gone into businesses and done stuff like that. And that's it. And I have a few big. There's a few big projects.
Instagram's best place to.
Instagram, Mindful Rambler, Kickboxing Yogi, YouTube. I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel.
It's the hard one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's grown a little bit, as you say. The other fella that has the same name is Prolific. I put up a bit every now and again, but the numbers are growing slowly.
You're on your roll. You're on your roll.
I have about 1,250 on YouTube now.
Yeah, fucking
slowly.
You're doing a lot better than we are. But fair play to you.
So if they want to go on there and check out the meditations, that'd be great.
Which that's what I'll be doing. That's what I'm going to use that for me next 31 days. I'll use the meditation. So thank you.
Thanks,
you so
legend. Much appreciated.
So this is the noble call. As I said, I haven't played it to anyone yet.
Yes. First and here first.
And I'm not a musician. But I loved what you guys did last week, and I thought in the spirit of creativity, like we were trying to express in the documentary Between Breath and Song, it's about trying to encourage everybody to sing, everybody to share stories, and everybody to do poetry. So I'm trying to practice what I preach. I don't even have a name for the song.
I haven't got.
I don't have a name for it.
Okay, yeah.
So maybe we can. They can put in the comments a name.
They'll give it a name for it. Here we go. The Kickboxing Yogi's about to give us a tune that we don't even have a name for, but it's a noble call, and he's basically what it is just sharing your creativity, and this is what this is going to be about. So take it away, bro.
Thanks a million, lads. As I said in the documentary we did with Damo, Between the Breath and the Song, we said just be creative, share poetry, share stories, share jokes, and have a little bit of fun with it. So here it is. All right. Late night chasing pavement down Camden Street, cold wind blowing, cut to the bones, lost souls chasing their feet. A cigarette smoke, sound of siren of fate's cruel deceit. There's a war in my chest, I can't look at the screen. Bombs in the east, I feel a bomb in my brain. I saw the fear in the eyes of the boys on the back of the train. Fear by design keeps the people in their chains. A little white line, a bottle of wine might ease their pain. I know I flew so high with those chemical wings. Oh, I felt so good, I thought I was a king. But my throne turned pure chaos, and I started to fall. As my throne turned to ashes, I almost lost it all. So I ran, yeah, I ran, oh yeah, I ran, and I fell into the arms of the medicine man. He said, drank from his cup with my trembling hand, till the shame man said, hey man, remember who you are. He said, you're not that storm out there, you're not those clouds around. You are the sky itself, where the lightning goes home. You've traveled oceans, over mountains you have roamed, but all you were searching for was living in your bones. Da 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 da, da 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 do. Boots on those winding roads where wild winds once blew. Da 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 da, da 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 dee. Lost little boy, lost his chains and now he's free. So I'm singing for my people with that weight up on their chest, who feel broken. They're not broken, they're just tired, they need a rest. Stand with me, stand tall and free, breathe life into your pain. Remember, we are the sky itself, but where that lightning came. Da 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 da, da 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 do. Boots on those winding roads where wild winds once blew. Da 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 da, da 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 dee. I was a lost little boy, I lost my chains and now I'm free. Da 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 da,
Hey.
da.
Fucking yes, bro. Fucking that's beautiful.
Thanks,
that was beautiful.
Thanks a million.
Now, normally I'm like, oh, now I'll jump in. Even after the poem that time, I was like, oh, I'll let that sit.
Was it alright?
That was fucking
thanks.
beautiful.
Yeah. First time I ever played it. Anyone?
Boots, what's it? Boots on the road?
Boots on those winding roads where wild winds once blew.
Boots on the winding road.
Yeah.
There's your name.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Boots
Love
on
it.
the winding road.
I'll take it. That's it. Thanks, brother.
Yes, for that. Yeah, so I'll tell you what to do. So I know that you're nervous with the guitar, so we can do some, or I'll just give you.
Do you have a what?
So
what?
you, with the way you played it, can.
So it could go.
Yeah, that'll Hey. As the brain slowly trickles down the pane, I rest my hand on this blank page and hold this biro. I can feel the words coursing me veins with the same force as the waves that be raging off the coast of Sligo. But what would I know? So I don't quit the 9 to 5, the KPIs and chasing targets, reclaiming power for the start and proudly claim to be an artist. Saying slán to this year. Now the snakes they have to part, but we were galloping to the night and let the day erase the darkness. Say the rain that ruins the picnic, that's the rain that saves the harvest. I kept running through me pain when the days became the hardest. Now what you see is a man who's found his passion again. Cobwebs needed dusting, I brought it back to the dam, but I'm back for another beating. I'm battered but I'm bleeding, I'm scattered into pieces, but this pattern it has meaning. Still have a dream and a clan to protect, still got a whole lot of love that I haven't expressed yet. So sit back and reflect and clench your jaw, release the tension from the back of your neck. Even on weeks when you were weak, you still went and grabbed for that check, so have some respect. Yo, trying to roof these little kids that swear their daddy's the man. Well, the lecky gas and the rent has got you trapped in a jam. Tax strips the skin off the wage before the shit hit your hand. And get lectured by Satan, by suits that truly can't understand the depths of the schemes. With their backbones, start checking their spleens. We're not living, we're just rationing the breaths in between. Don't wanna say I'm sad and depressed, but the panic is manic. I'm stressed, thinking of friends that didn't cope, became a victim to that rope. Or others who had the courage to leave their mothers, so they packed up and left. I wish you nothing but love, I hope it lasted to death. We went from top of the class to barely passing the test. And why the fuck you think we have some respect? So sit back and reflect and clench your jaw, release the tension from the back of your neck. Even on weeks when you were weak, you still went and grabbed for that check. So have some respect. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Hey,
I was trying to, you need it.
Oh, stop, bro.